Okay, peace and grooviness, unity. So I know I've been fairly well known for my hats, and so when I was 24, I guess I sobered up, and I had this short curly haircut because back in the day they didn't do the spiky ends and stuff. So having curly hair was really difficult because yeah, it just short and curly looked great on a guy, not so good on a girl. But it was hard to grow out too because you get to that awkward stage. So I often cut it off before I could grow it out because it would get to that awkward stage. Long story short, I wore baseball caps because it was easy. I sobered up and I was sleeping 18 to 20 hours a day because that's the only way I could cope without drinking. So I slept and I went, anyway, anyway, it doesn't matter. I went to supportive meetings. So I used to wear baseball caps and I would match it to my clothes because that's what I like to do. Because even though I was not well, I still didn't want to look not well. So this is one of the hat ideas. And then it progressed from, I got winter hats. So I got this hat that looks something like this, except I think my mom gave it to me actually. It was matching hat and mitts. And they didn't match exactly, but the hat was like sort of this style. And I wore that for a few years because it was very warm. I bought a brown jacket because it kind of had the neutral warm colors. And where did it go from there? Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. So this is a Toronto Maple Leafs hat that I know the Leafs aren't doing well, but it was my dad's favorite team, my brother's favorite team, so I sort of still have you know fond memories of them. And so I found this in my buddy's garden. His dogs had dragged it through poop, and it was covered in poop and all kinds of things. And the clasp on the back, was mangled, so it couldn't be closed anymore. So I told him I'd take it home and I was gonna redo this part with elastic or Velcro or something. But I ended up putting it on my head. It had this weird, like it doesn't look too bad in this video, but it had this weird dome shape. And they sometimes do that. Sometimes maybe fraudulent companies will make them, they'll, they might not make them the way the actual teams will do it, and it's to cash in on a, a certain team or person without actually kind of copying them, but not really copying them, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So this is it's an Adidas hat, though. What does that say? Oh, isn't that cool? Oh, isn't that interesting? So actually, Toronto Maple Leafs is in Boston. I think actually, Toronto Maple Leafs is on the inside, not on the outside. It's an official NHL, so they are sponsored, and it's an Adidas. But it was a funny shape, and it doesn't. I don't like the shape of it. So the camera's going all wonky here. So I turned it inside out because I just experiment. That's what I do. I just experiment things. I turned it inside out, and you can now see the Toronto Maple Leafs. It kind of has this funky sort of Irish thing going. You can catch some rain in the brim now. And it's got this weird sort of flippy up look. Again, if you're a really fashionable person and you're known for being trendy, you can probably get away with this. But if you're pretty conservative, you know, you're probably not best to wear it like this. But if you're looking to change your style, you know, make one entire funky outfit with the hat and wear that once a week. And then, maybe it'll grow. So the other thing I found out when I was in the psych ward, they gave me this hat from the clothing donation thing, and it was way too big for my head. It was like an 18 or something. I wouldn't stay on. So this is just a piece of, it's lace actually I got from the bottom of something. And so what I do to keep the hat on, because now that it doesn't snap, it'll fly off. So what I do to keep it on is I put it over the top like this. So it's over the top. And this has a little lip because the inside has a part where you attach it, like the top layer and the brim. You tuck it underneath there so it's not seen. And then you got this. It's no good out here because your hat can still fly off with the wind. So you put it under the edge. Now it doesn't look very good with my bald head, but most people get away with it. But you put it here and you tie it tight enough, not so you get a headache, but that it stays on. So it's actually attached there. So when it blows up here, it blows from the back. It's actually fairly snug. It's not 100% guarantee, but if you're going to wear a baseball cap and you don't want it to fly off, that's one method you can use to keep it from flying off, because these hats are expensive and parents get really upset when you lose your freaking hats a day after you got them. So that's one hat idea. So this is, again, if you've been wondering about my